Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Winter, and welcome to the final episode of Tomb Raider Anniversary Extras and Trophies. We're going to take a look at all of the rewards that we have unlocked through our playthrough. But real quick, just to keep the kind of opening movie from kicking on again, we'll go to this little sub menu. One thing that I think I have totally forgotten to mention during the playthrough of this PlayStation 3 version of Tomb Raider Anniversary was that, much like Tomb Raider Legend, in the PlayStation 2 version, and I can't speak for PC or Xbox, but if anybody could let me know, that would be fantastic. When you would play these levels, as you progress through the game, the background of the main menu would change, as well as Lara's outfit in Legend. Not in Anniversary, that was just specific to Legend. But in Anniversary, the backgrounds would change. So if we were currently playing the game and we were in the middle of the Egyptian set of levels, the background would be Egyptian. You know, we'd see the Sphinx, we'd see the obelisk in the Temple of Khamun. That's where it'd be. We'd be seeing the Temple of Khamun in the background and not the default Peruvian setting, which there's nothing wrong with. It's just interesting to me how that was dropped for this PlayStation 3 HD collection re-release. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird how it still lives in the PS3 HD collection version of Legend, but not here in Anniversary. And if it lives in the Xbox 360 HD collection, let me know. I'd be curious to know if Anniversary's main menus still function like they did back in the day. Anyways, we've got that out of the way. Let's take a look at what we have unlocked. The special, this is, that right there, is a note to the fans from the director of the game and the Crystal Dynamics team that worked on it. Just kind of thanking them for their support over the years. Pretty cool. The style units, you can check that out. I've already got that up on my channel, so check the description for a link to that if you want to see it, and actually, it'll explain itself, so I don't really have to go through that, I don't think. But if you're curious about it, yeah, check the link. Cinematics, this is something that I deeply miss in TR 2013. Not sure if this is back for Rise yet or not. Honestly, I have no idea. Do me a favor and don't tell me if it is back or not, because I would like a little bit of surprise, even if it ends up being a disappointment by the time I do play Rise of the Tomb Raider. But I love being able to go back through and you can watch every single cutscene from the game that you have unlocked at this point. This is accessible as soon as you start playing the game. Like from the very first cutscene, you can check out what you have unlocked up to whatever point you are in the game. Very cool. They did that with Legend as well. In fact, they really set the bar high with extra features in Legend and here in Anniversary. So much so that they just seem to have just bothered trying to top themselves from what they did by just dropping it all together with Tomb Raider 2013. Or TR 2013 as I call it. So that's cool. Art galleries. These are pretty fucking nifty. I really like these. And we have not unlocked all of these yet, because we have not completed time trials. I'm trying to think right off the top of my head what that one with the question mark would be, but I'm coming up with nothing. But these are pretty fucking nifty. I really dig them. You have things like, obviously this is the Promotional Image Gallery. You go back, take a look at various promo photos that were distributed to gaming magazines back in the day for all of the old school Tomb Raider games. In fact, I think it's every Tomb Raider game from the first 10 years. Of course, that right there is Chronicles. We'll get into that at some point. That's the iconic box art pose from Tomb Raider 1. What's kind of interesting about that is on the Sony PlayStation, the image is kind of cropped a little bit higher up on her leg, and there's like a black bar across near her crotch area, and I've never been able to figure out why the fuck they put that black bar there. I'm not sure if it's a censorship type thing or not, but it's always kind of bugged me why PlayStation versions of the original Tomb Raider had that bar. It's a little bit distracting, actually. Shit like this is cool, though. I miss these kinds of promotional images for Tomb Raider games, because that's movie poster stuff. That's like when you think of Indiana Jones, and you think of like Raiders of the Lost Ark. The Well, that may not be a good example because he was just kind of standing there, wasn't he? No, no, the one where he was standing there was Temple of Doom. Anyways, that's like classic Indiana Jones style, Star Wars movie poster style. I really miss those kinds of things. Of course, there's Legend in promo for Anniversary. That's for the original '96 Tomb Raider. It's I dig shit like that so much. That nice little collage. I kind of wonder sometimes why they choose the box art that they did, because you have that fantastic image that's just perfect for a cover, but you end up going with something like that instead for Tomb Raider 3. Yeah, we all know what that was. Um, yeah, good stuff though. I dig shit like that. These are awesome as well. Comparison photos from the '96 version of Tomb Raider, which will be on your left, to the 2006 version of Anniversary, which is on the right side. Now, these are kind of doctored in the sense that the camera angles for Anniversary have been specified and selected to match up to the original game's environments as much as they can. So, with a grain of salt, they're not really perfect representations of what they're supposed to represent, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But it is kind of cool to go back and see how, from certain angles, if you've got your camera just right in Anniversary, then yeah, it's like you're right back in Legend. But other than that, it's. I mean, they did a good job. I'm not saying that they did a crap job. It's just, don't trust the pictures, because the pictures are very deliberately taken from certain angles to match up with things that were already existent, I guess you could say. Of course, there's the Lost Valley. From that angle, it does look spot on, doesn't it? The Anniversary one there on the right. Yeah, I mean, they did a good job. I love Anniversary. I think it's a great game. I really do think they did an awesome job of recreating these old environments and modernizing them slightly. Look how happy that Sphinx is on the left, and then look how grim he is on the right. Of course, I don't know if there's going to be a picture of it or not, but in this sanctuary of the Scion, the Sphinx that you come around the back side of, he was very happy in the '96 version. Yeah, there he is. Look at that fucking smile, man. Hi, Lar. It's nice to meet you. Yeah, he's a happy-go-lucky kind of guy. Nice galleries, though. Really dig those. Character bios. Just a little bit of backstory for everybody in the game, explaining who they are, what they do, what they can do, and nothing about their favorite food, which is disappointing. You dropped the ball on that one, Crystal. You dropped the ball. I like this one, though. Lord Richard Croft, or Hinishingly, as he shall always be known. No photo for him. Make up your own minds about what he looks like, or who. Of course, this it's not the same as his backstory isn't exactly as explained as well as it was in some of the older games. If I remember right, in the 1996 biography for Lara Croft, it had mentioned that her father, Hinishingly, and her mother, who was still alive, I think, disowned her because of her taste of adventure. So let's go through the outfits list and let's see if we can match up the games. Obviously, the Legend outfit we've already got a pretty good look at in Croft Manor. Of course, there's the doppelganger from the Atlantis levels here in Anniversary. There's the Angel of Darkness look, if I remember correctly. And if I'm wrong on that, somebody let me know, because I never finished Angel of Darkness. And I don't even remember if I actually saw her in this outfit to the point that I had gotten in that game. But I'm pretty sure that's Angel of Darkness right there. Confirmation would be awesome, though, if anybody wants to. Or not, no biggie. Of course, Lara with the Midas touch. Recreation of the original outfit that she would wear in Croft Manor in the 96 game. And there's Lara herself from 96. Every once in a while I'll actually select that outfit for a replay of levels, just because I get a real kick out of everything in the environment looking highly detailed and really impressive. But then Lara looks like a pixelated piece of shit, you know? I mean, not to say that she looks like a piece of shit, but I mean, graphically comparing her to the rest of the environment, yeah, she looks fucking terrible. And of course, the legendary Sola wetsuit from Tomb Raider 2. A lot of people like to cosplay that one, which I always welcome. It's cool to see that suit get some love. And this is Chronicles, I believe, from the VCI level set, which was the very last set of levels in that game. And finally, we can do a doppelganger on Natla, only we'll have a backpack and some guns. Cool stuff, though. And again, in case you missed it in Croft Manor or haven't played Croft Manor up to that point, you can take a look at your relics at any time and revisit them, as well as listen to any of the musical tracks, check out the credits again, and the commentaries, which are very fucking awesome. I really dig these. I wish they would have gone back and added some for the Legend PlayStation 3 HD version re-release. And I hope they bring that back, man, because these are pretty fucking fascinating. You know, it's the director, Jason Botta, and the creator of Lara Croft, Toby Gard, just sitting around shooting the shit about, you know, what it was like to make Anniversary. Toby tells some great stories about what it was like to work on the very first Tomb Raider game. It's good stuff. In fact, let's just go ahead and check out a couple of those right quick.
Welcome to the game commentary for Tomb Raider Anniversary. I'm Jason Botta, the creative director for Tomb Raider Anniversary.
And I'm Toby Gard, the original designer from the first TR1.
You were the creative director. Give yourself some credit.
There's only 6 of us, though. I mean, you don't have such grand titles back in those days, but yeah. So I remember when we were first putting together the design for Tomb Raider, and I found that it was pretty disturbing how many games, how much there was of killing in games. Basically, so many people killing each other mindlessly. You know, you walk up to some chap, and just because they're from a different country, you can gun them down, and that seems to be perfectly reasonable. So in TR1, I felt like, apart from the fact that I didn't think we could do very good humans at the time, like other human enemies, it seemed to me like a much nicer thing to do to have the enemies be animals, sort of, you know, vicious animals like bats and rats and things.
Which is ironic because I think now most people would consider killing animals way crueler than killing people.
It is, yeah. I mean, pretty much, yeah, the worst thing about it is, of course, they're all endangered species. None of this occurred to me at the time. To be honest with you, I just thought, great, we're not killing humans hardly at all. What a great selling point.
When we redid it, we went and we looked at the animals in TR1, and they weren't very mean looking, which made killing them even worse.
I remember my teddy bear model was very cute.
That's right. So we consciously tried to sort of go back and make the animals much more vicious this time around, so you didn't feel so bad about killing them. You can maybe only lose about an hour of sleep instead of all night. The Midas Garden, I think we sort of we did the thing you guys intended, which was to build the Midas statue.
Yeah, I mean, the garden itself was supposed to have, well, exactly, I mean, we had, we just didn't have the resources to build a gigantic statue in the garden.
Right.
So it's pretty much, there was a garden, and if you climbed about on the roof, you could find a little room that had a hand in it, basically. And
it had a hand and a foot?
Yeah, and that's about as much as we could really do.
And the best part was that the foot, and like up to the knee, I think it was, and then that was the ceiling of the room.
Yes. Well, it's, roof had collapsed or something, probably.
But here we've actually gone and built the whole Midas statue. But obviously we had to keep the hand turning things to gold. That was key.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that still happens, which is cool. We originally were trying to think of a way to make the monkeys turn to gold, because that would have been really cool.
Yes, that would have been.
Yeah, but, you know,
it's one of the few times when in TR1 when we actually, something I remember sort of debating a little bit, because all of the other areas, all the other rooms in the Greek level, and I think in fact sort of throughout the whole game, they all made some kind of real world sense, you know. There was the traps, right? They were sort of ancient mechanisms. And it was only Midas's hand, really, that sort of eluded some kind of magical effect, something that you couldn't explain through any kind of science. And that, I remember, was a really tough call to make, because the goal was not to break the rules of sort of reality. But Lara turning to gold was so much fun to animate that I don't know, I just broke my own rules.
So this was one of the 3 sort of challenge areas off of the Midas area.
Right, because you got 3 metal bits you have to change into gold to get a door open.
The lead bars that must be turned to gold.
Lead to gold, very alchemical. And basically, but other than the basic tools of sort of traps like rolling balls and spikes and stuff and the breakable floors, the only thing that we really could do in the original TR1 engine was essentially swap rooms. We could build 2 rooms that were identically sized, and we could swap them so long as Lara wasn't in that room, basically. So we actually managed to get quite a bit from that, and the sand puzzle was basically this kind of concept of, you know, if you was to pull out the support of a floor, then the whole room would crumble and fall apart above, type of thing, and you'd get a completely different layout. So you could essentially move across the room in 2 different ways.
Right. The whole real sort of nature of Lara pulling out a foundation of a column be damned.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but and that was pretty hard for us as well, because I mean, it was kind of difficult to sell the column. We just had to have like basically a block there you pulled out, and then the world sort of rumbled, and when you went upstairs, it was all different. But of course, fabulous new technology.
That's right. Now you go down in the room and it rumbles and some sand falls through. And then you go back up and the room's changed.
That's good, yeah.
We've come a long way in over a decade.
It's actually one of the things I wanted to do, was be able to show the actual changes that, you know, basically just sort of fake an animation of the change in environment. And we actually did that a little bit in the original TR1 on the last level, where we actually sort of cut away and showed an animated object, and then we did the room swap, and that makes it a lot stronger. But this particular one, even you guys couldn't chew off, could you? Whole room collapsing and turning into...
Yeah, that was we tried to pitch that, and the producers came back and said, no, we don't have, you don't get to build 2 versions of this room. So we did one, and we did what we could. It still sells it, I think. At least as well as the original Tomb Raider did.
So yeah, cool stuff, as you see. I highly recommend doing whatever you can to unlock all of those and give them all a good listen. It's like, I don't want to say it's the holy grail for Tomb Raider fans, but it's definitely some good nuggets of knowledge of the Tomb Raider making of saga. You know, it's awesome stuff. I really dig those. Wish they'd bring them back. Cheat codes gated off until you actually finish the game, and the ones with the question marks you cannot unlock until you complete the time trials for each of the levels. You'll unlock 2 cheat codes for every set of levels that you have completed time trials for, and I think that's brilliant. That's a great way to handle cheats. I wish they'd bring that back as well. Of course, the only one that really comes in handy to us right now is the infinite breath option. The textureless mode is just what it sounds like. The environments shift away from having textures, and they're just kind of barren and bland. In fact, let's take a look at that right quick.
Oh, allí estás. Mira, ya llegamos. No sé cómo abrirlo. y una inscripción arriba de la puerta. Oh, estoy muy cansado.
So yeah, there you go. There's just a good example of the textureless mode. It kind of looks funky, and for me, I can't really play the game that way because it actually kind of hurts my eyes after a little bit, you know? No idea why, it just does, but yeah, there you go. And the sunglasses, well, Lara can be fashionable on top of her regular chic fashion that she's always sporting. So there we go. Tomb Raider Anniversary Extras. I'll go ahead and... Oh yeah, see the display, this is how you turn on the commentary markers. You'll go here to display, switch them on, hit the X to accept the changes. And after the profile updates, they shall be visible. Good stuff though, check those out. Anyways, thank you all for watching the extras and trophies. I don't really have a whole lot to say with regards to the trophy list because I think it speaks for itself. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that right quick, and I'm just going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you all for watching. I hope you found something of interest in this episode and indeed in the entire series. It was a lot of fun to do. I think it turned out pretty good, my perspective. Of course, you guys would probably be a better judge of that than me. But it's a great game. Highly recommend checking it out. And I'll see you back here on Tomb Raider Legend. Everybody take care out there.
Don't you think you've seen enough?